Guys, today we're going to see about reliability in a maintenance. So before going to the reliability, we should understand what about the maintenance history. So maintenance is a routine and recurring process of keeping a particular machine or asset in its normal operating condition, so that it can able to deliver the expected performance or service without any failure or damage. So this is the basic concept of maintenance. So in that maintenance, the reliability is very, very important. So what is the reliability? Reliability is the probability that a component or system, when operating under given condition, will perform its intended functions adequately for a specified period of time. It's really called as the reliability. So basically, we can able to classify the reliability into the two types. The first one is the inherent reliability. Second one is the achievable reliability. So what is the inherent reliability? The inherent reliability is it is associated with the quality of material and design of the machine parts. So inherent reliability is also relevant to the basics of the particular component. What is the basics of the component? It may be the characteristic of the material, otherwise the design feature. So suppose if we can able to find out some reliability about the material by used on material properties, otherwise the design of the particular machine component or material properties means that will be called as the inherent reliability. So that is a very basic. If you can able to find out the reliability which is based on material properties or design, that is the inherent reliability. Same times achievable reliability. What is achievable reliability? It is depends on maintenance and operation of the equipment. So after get a particular equipment, otherwise after get a particular machine components, so how can it be going to work based on maintenance activities and the based on operation, that is called as achievable reliability. So if you want to give the right reliability means just you want to keep both inherent reliability and achievable reliability in a right manner. First of all, you want to choose the right material, then only you can able to get the inherent reliability. So after get the right material or right resource, you will going to do the particular operations. While you are doing the particular operation, how can you are doing that operation, that is very important. And second one, how maintenance are given to the particular equipment or particular material, that is important. Because of the achievable reliability is also relevant to the operation of the equipment and maintenance of the equipment. So this is called as a reliability, and two types of reliability. The first one is the inherent reliability, the second one is the achievable reliability. Okay, this is the equipment cycle, equipment life cycle. So what is the equipment life cycle? The reliability engineering is dependability in the life cycle management of the product. The failure pattern of the equipment over its life cycle can be represented as a path-due curve. So this path-due curve, just we will going to show a simple curve that curves size is like a bathtub, so this curve is called as a bathtub curve. Here, the vertical line will be represented as a failure rate, the horizontal line will be represented as a time. So, we will going to consider the three phases. The first is the phase 1, second one is the phase 2, third one is the phase 3. In a first phase, the failure rate will be the highest position. So the time will be moved based on the time the failure period will be going to reduced. It will be going to down. At a particular period, it will be the failure rate will be the minimum, very very low. This type period of time will be called as the intrinsic failure period. Intrinsic failure period. So intrinsic failure period means which is a lowest failure period. Failure rate will be a very very low one. That period of time will be called as the intrinsic failure period. So after this period of time, the failure rate will be going to increase based on time. So in a particular time, the failure rate will be going to rise to the highest peak level. So that is called as the wear out failure period. In that situation, the wear will be going to get a very high level. This period of time will be called as a phase 3. So totally we have three phases. The first one is a phase 1, second one is a phase 2, third one is a phase 3. So this is called as the equipment life cycle. Okay, the second one is the next one is the mean time to failure, that is very important thing. Mean time to failure is a very basic measure of reliability used for non-reliable system, non-repairable system. It represents the length of the time that an item is expected to last in operation until it fails. So here the graph is given, the device starts working. The first point is the starting position of the particular devices. The second last point is the device failures occurs. Between these 2 points, the lifespan of the device will be considered as a MT2F, mean time to failure. So totally how much time is required to get a failure, that average value is calculated. This will be called as the mean time to failure. So how can you get a values of mean time to failure? Mean we have one formula. That formula is a mean time to failure equal to total hours of operation divided by total number of units. So for example, totally or more than 500 hours operations if you are done, same times by using 5 units means this will going to calculate the MTTF value by divided by the total hours of operation and total number of units formulas. Okay, this is the mean time to failure. So mean time between failures, this time is very different from the first one, because of that is a mean time to failure, but this is a mean time between failure. So it will be going to calculate it based on two more failures, between two more failures. So after that you are going to calculate values of mean time between failures. So what is the mean time between failure? The term mean time between failure is used for repairable systems, but it does not take into account units that are shut down or routine scheduled maintenance. Okay, so MTBF, the mean time between failure, is used for repairable system. So easily, which kind of equipment and machines you can be able to do the repair, that kind of equipment and machines only will become under the topic of mean time between failure. It does not take into the account the units that are shut down or routine scheduled maintenance. Okay, basically some maintenance activities we are doing the regular maintenance activities like that, cleaning, or while the lubricating oil filling, while this kind of basic maintenance activities will not come under the topic of mean time between failure. This is maybe called as a regular maintenance activities or routine maintenance activities. Otherwise, while you take a computer like the system, every day we are going to shut down the system after completing the particular process. So this is not will become under the topic of mean time between failure. So mean time between failure means basically particular equipment or component will be worked for a particular period of time. So after that it maybe have a chances to get a failure. So after that you can have a chances to give a repair activities. After the repair activities, it may be going to work for few more days or few more period of times. After the particular period of time, it will be going to occur a failure. So after that, we will going to do maintenance activities like this. So when a particular failure start, after that we will give a particular repairable activities or maintenance activities, then working conditions. After that, it will be going to occur a failure. So this kind of activities is very important to calculate the mean time between failure. Okay, this figure just you can this red point will be considered as a failure occur. Particular equipment or component will occur a particular failure. So after that we are doing particular maintenance activities in a particular period of time. That is called as a repair time. So after this repair time, the regime of operation, the operations will be to continue. So the operation is going for a particular period of time. The time to failure. Time to failure means this time to reach the next failure. So this is a first failure. We are giving particular repair or maintenance activities. After that, the production or some other activities will be continued. So what we did before the failure occurs, the same activities will be continued after do the particular maintenance activities. After that, from this regime of operations, it will be take lot of time to get the next failure. So between these two failure, how much mean time is required, that is called as the mean time between failures. Okay, the formula mean time between failure equal to total operation time divided by total number of failures. Okay, For example, if a particular machine or equipment is running continuously for 7 days or continuously it will be run for 300 hours mean, within these 300 hours totally 5 times it occur a failures, otherwise 6 times occur a particular problems mean, we're going to calculate the mean time between failure equal to total operation time. That may be the 300 hours. Divided by how much time it occur a failure. That may be the 4 or 5 times or 6 times. So what we got the failure numbers. We're going to put the values. At last you can get values of mean time between failure. Okay, this is the important one. Okay, the next one is the mean time to repair. So till now we studied about the failure, but this is the mean time to repair. Okay, it refers to the amount of time required to repair a system and restore it to full functionality. This MTTR clock starts ticking when a repair starts and it goes on until operations are restored. These include repair time, testing period, and the return to the normal operating condition. This is called as the mean time to repair. So mean time to repair is nothing but the amount of time required to repair a system and restore to a successful condition. Okay. So how much time is required to do the particular maintenance activity? For example, particular problem will be occurred in a particular equipment. It may be taken for half an hour to do the particular maintenance activities. The same time, another one machine, you have a chance to get the same problem. It may be taken 20 minutes to solve the problem. So another machine they have a chances to get a problem. It may be taken 35 to 40 minutes to solve the problem. So totally we are using the same problem, different kind of time. So we are going to calculate the average value. That's what we call as the mean time to repair. So here we have the formula mean time to repair equal to total maintenance time, total number of repairs. So I told the first machine it took the 40 minutes, the second machine maintenance time it took the 35 minutes, the third machine it took the 30 minutes. So totally calculate that the 3 repair times. So totally 3 repairs we attended. So if you are putting values in this formula, you can get values of mean time to repair. Okay, now you can see the graph. This is the starting failure occur. Here particular failure occurs. The failure notifications time. This is the diagram. We understood the what's the problems. After that, the repair starts. Okay, the repair started. Then the repair time. So we are doing a particular repairing work. Then we are testing. Okay, return to the normal operating conditions. We are given to the normal operating condition. Then after that, the particular production will be going to continue. So between this repair start to the resume of operation, this time of period is calculated as time to repair. So the average time is called as the mean time to repair. So this is a formula for mean time to repair equal to total maintenance time divided by total number of repairs. Okay, this is a very important thing. General organization structures for the maintenance department. So basically, in our particular companies, a particular plant, if they have a maintenance department, what are the roles, or what are the people, what are the postings having inside of the maintenance department? That is very important. So the first level is the maintenance superintendent. That is the head of the entire maintenance activities. Under the head of the maintenance superintendent, the engineering assistant will be available. Okay, under the engineering assistant, the following department is available. The first one is facilitate the foreman of maintenance. Another one is foreman planning and scheduling. Next one is foreman engineering. Next one is field foreman. Okay, these all the details, all the department will be working under the guidance of both engineering assistant and also the maintenance superintendent. Okay. The facilities foreman means under the facilities foreman, the following detail will be covered: the steam, power, water, air, otherwise, except these all the things. What are the things are required to do the particular maintenance activities? Every facilities will be covered under the head of the facilities foreman. These facilities foreman will be give the work based on steam work, based on power work, based on water work, based on air work. So everything will be given by the facilities of foreman. The second one is the facilities foreman. After the facilities foreman, the foreman for the shop maintenance. So this is a very important. These four men are doing the following relevant work, that is the maintenance work, repair activities, the regular work of the lubrications, cleaning work like that, after that constructions. So these are the work will become under the 4 months of maintenance. Okay, the next one is a 4 month planning and scheduling. Okay, this is a very important, because of this 4 month planning and scheduling will be give the plan and schedule to do the particular maintenance work. They will do the following work. The first one is a work order system. Second one is a planning and estimating. Third one is a scheduling, backlog control. Fifth one is a performance report. So we know very well about what is the work order system. So work order system means from the production department we want to get what kind of work we want to do. So otherwise what's are the problem observed in the production area. So based on that we are going to do the particular maintenance activities. So that is a work order system. Okay, we got a work order. We got this kind of maintenance activities to the particular working areas. So after that we want to put a planning. Okay, how can we going to approach the maintenance? How can we going to approach a particular maintenance for the particular working production area? So after get a plan, so who will going to attend the maintenance activities? Which team is ready to solve the problem? So what kind of maintenance is required to complete the computer to solve the problems? Everything will going to plan. So those fellows are called as a 4 month planning and scheduling. Okay, after get a planning, we are going to do the estimating. So estimating means how much amount is required to complete the maintenance activities. Okay, from beginning to solve the problems, everything, how much amount is required to complete the maintenance. This is called as the planning and estimating. Okay, after after identify the work, we will put a plan. After the plan, we put the estimate. So after get a estimate, we are going to put a scheduling. So scheduling is very important. The scheduling is purely relevant to the time and work. So when we are going to start the work and which team will be going to do the work, everything will become in under the topic of scheduling. Okay, after the scheduling, backlog control. The control is a very important while you are doing the particular work. We'll be going to monitor and how can we going to control the entire maintenance work. So everything will become under the topic of 4 month planning and scheduling. The last one is performance report. Already we have discussed in the last classes. The performance report is a very important, because based on this report only we can able to put a plan for the next maintenance activities. Okay, how much amount we spend for these activities and how much amount is required in the future. Otherwise, how much amount we got from the earliest ones. Everything will be calculated. Otherwise, everything we can able to make a proper report. That is very important. So the next one is a 4 man engineering. Those engineering means suppose the continuously particular problem will be occur in a particular areas, when those 4 months will be, those engineering people should be going to identify the right solutions for that. So the engineering solutions, otherwise the design modifications, everything will going to be given from the 4 man engineering. Okay, the next one is a field foreman. So the field foreman who are working inside of the maintenance team, relevant to the building, otherwise yard, otherwise fire protection, otherwise a waste disposal. So everything will become under the topic of field foreman. Okay, after complete the maintenance activities, we want to dispose of the waste material. That is a very important thing. We will going to give a clean environment, clean buildings. So like that, every activity will be considered by the field foreman. So this is the basic main general organization structure of maintenance department. Okay, this is the maintenance economics. So maintenance economics is relevant to the cost of the maintenance activity. So if you are doing particular maintenance activities, mean we need some department like that, purchase and the operation, or else maintaining function, otherwise the disposal of the unwanted material, otherwise disposal of the waste materials, everything will become under the topic of the maintenance economics. The purely maintenance economics is how much amount is required to do the particular maintenance activities, how can we save the amount, how can we reduce the maintenance cost, everything will become under the topic of maintenance economics. The estimation of the economic life cycle equipment. It is depends on the maintenance and repair cost, availability, and operational efficiency. Here, just look this graph. Here, the operating hours are noted in x-axis. The first graph is a cumulative efficiency. This graph is the cumulative efficiency. This graph is a maintenance and the repair cost. So this point is called as a CH, that is a maintenance and repair cost, and the cumulative cost will be going to intersect. Okay, the next one is a reliability cost or the business cost or unreliable system, maintenance cost or the cost of the doing maintenance, be that reactive or preventive maintenance. Here one graph is available, that is a reliability cost and a total cost relevant graphs. Here the reliability will be given in the x-axis, the total cost will be given in the y-axis. The yellow graph will be given as a maintenance cost. So how much amount we are spent for a particular maintenance activity, that is given in a green line. That blue line will be given total cost. This gray line will be given the reliability cost. Okay, the both maintenance cost and reliability cost will be intersect in a particular point. That cost is called as an optimum cost. Okay. Okay guys, thank you. We are going to see in the next process.